welcome all of you, and I'm trying to gather everyone. Um, Apologize, I'm trying to not ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to multitask a few things. As many of you guys has come to my Zoom call know that it's only a few days, and but let me handle the noise. Here you go, and oh, a little bit back to the wall, but so welcome again. I'm Howard. My company is Brick, and I've been doing this Zoom call for um, since late March, mid March, and this is I think it's number 12. I'm trying to keep track. Um, is but today, let me share the slides while I have most of you online here, and let me know if you can hear me or the audio is not good or whatnot. Um, Otherwise, we're just going right in. I don't want to go turn into be like 2 hours long call, but I would keep doing this Zoom call to add value to the community. That's my intentions. Um, and where is my slides? Here we go. Let's see. Did this help? Let's see. Thanks for the. Thanks for let me position a little bit. Thanks for Scott just being a really good helping persons, helping in the community. Just tell me on the Facebook is upward side is basically sideways. Here we are. So this is my meetups Facebook on God no, I think is about the 11th or 12th, but so I have been on Zoom call. I've been I've been doing so much more on marketing because I think this is a really good opportunity on basically investing in multifamilies, because the fact is right now a lot of people is actually staying home. A lot of people is actually not working, or like they're basically put on hold. So let's see if I can do this. Here we go. So I won't move too much, but so Zoom call. Let me just print it up the slides while I have all of you guys. Hi, Mati. Thanks for watching. So bear with me, guys. Slides, let's share. And here, thanks for bearing with me. So Zoom call number 11, actually. So my intentions again is I want to help. I want to help. I don't want to wave on the Facebook because my cell phone is actually not doing as well. Here we go. So sorry again. Zoom call number 11. So commercial basic real estate, and how do you get ready? How do you get ready for how do you get ready really for the upcoming what we like to call the adjustment or the opportunity, because the opportunity is coming. To be honest, I was walking for 2 hours with investors in Calgary, and we both him and I agree that the investment opportunity is coming. The question is, are you ready for the upcoming opportunity? That's if you pay attention online, you pay attention to basically all different kind of places, there's going to be a lot of adjustment coming up. And but before I'm actually going into the training, I was looking at a couple books I've been reading. Like one of the books is new, and one of the books is actually Chinese So I don't know how does it help some of you guys here, but I found it was really, really helpful for me. So I want to share. So maybe I'm going to be, if you guys like, I'm going to share what I've been reading to increase my mindset, to improve my mindset, keep myself positive, keep myself, looking at the things, that is worth to help me to go get through time like this. So first of all, the first book is actually, even as a Chinese book, is actually J.P. Morgan letters. So by the way, I want to put this out. I want to actually find this book in English because I can't find it. It's actually in English. It should say J.P. Morgan, John Pierpont, the financier, the banker, write 32 letters to his son Jack. Jack JP. So big J basically Jack. The is his son name is, I think, is Jack Morgan. But this is the first book. It's a Chinese book, but I can't really find it in English. So let me know, help me out if you can find this. So that's book number one. And the other book that I actually read lately, I think this is one of the best book, one of the best 5 books that I think in my library I would keep having. Is basically called Release Your Brakes. It's $20 on Amazon. Go look it up. So thank you for all you who have been watching, have been keep coming on Zoom call. So today is kind of similar, but I want to give you guys really, really short bites, just like my online training. I want to give you guys short bite-sized training, as in how, when you navigate what will be coming up, what can you expect? Today, I want to talk about market research, market cycle, particularly, because I was just searching on my notes, and I was like, you know what? This is actually good timing to talk about market cycle, because I remember it was like 2 years ago when 2017, so 3 years ago when I start sharing on sharing on multifamilies. I really like, the first thing I did talk about is market cycle, and it's to be honest, like that is different when I was sharing about, market cycle can be up, can be down, and can be, so I was sharing a lot of that, 4 different stages of market cycle. But I think today is very timely, because actually we are actually going through at that moment of the changings of buyers of seller cycle to buyer cycle. So I find it's really timely. So I pulled that up and I put it on today's screenshots, and just want to share with all of you guys, because it's very, very timely. I find it very useful for me. So again, I broke it into 8 steps. This is the foundations of, you can say the foundation of, if you want to say, someone coming to tell you, it's like, go find and buy the multifamilies, it all broken into 8 steps. Finding the market, raising capital, creating credibility, creating a team, negotiate a deal. And then underwriting. A few of you guys were underwriting with me on the weekend. I enjoy it a lot. I have to say that I was a little bit tired, and I talked to one of my mentee, and it's like, you know what, I'm just tired on the weekend. I didn't feel like I had energy. But yeah, we made it. So we get through the training. But so that's the underwriting. So that's the underwriting bootcamp that I offer as well. And then eventually, how do you finance the deal? So it's kind of breaking down to, finding a deal, finding a market, raise the capital. There's so much news on raising capital as this right now. I think one of the company, I forgot the company, I'll look it up on National Real Estate Online. So National Real Estate Online is NREI.com. So go look it up. There's like tons of commercial news, multifamily news. Has been helping me to get some of the information to you guys, because it's actually one of the posts to say that one company trying to raise $2 billion, and typically it would take them between 18 months to 2 years to raise that capital, and I think they did that in 2 weeks. So they did raise 2 million in 2 weeks. So there's a lot of sideline capitals that's waiting for all this to settle down. And I'd like to share what I think, when is the best time to buy, It doesn't mean that I'm not offering. I'm still active in the market. I put an offer last week, and I'm still waiting to come back. So, and I'm still, and I'm still putting out words. I contact two brokers yesterday, and I tell them I'm still active, and so it's like you know it's coming. You know the market is going to adjust. So now is to actually um, letting it to waiting to come, and to actually see, when so this kind of come back when I talk about market. It's kind of come back a long time ago. I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm sure all of you guys, a lot of you guys has been seeing it, has been reading it before. I come across that book 15 years ago. I'm sorry, 15 years old. So I was 25 years ago. And one thing is talk about is you buy, you make money when you buy. And to be honest, like, for a very long time, I didn't understand what it means. For the longest time, I didn't understand what it means until I has been making offer lately, and I see such a big discount on the property price going in right now. And it's unbelievable. I have to say that if you're not offering, or if you don't know how to offer, even literally, I don't want the phone numbers because it's meaningless if you don't have the context of multifamily. It's a lot of capital, a lot of money, a lot of equity that can be created instantly. Um, it is the moment. It is basically, it is the moment that, when I realized, actually you can actually get 60 cents on the dollar. So when they all talk about, I offer 60 cents on the dollars, it's different context. When you, like, when in this case me, when I'm actually offering 60 cents on the dollars, of course, first thing is good. It feels really good. But the thing is, you have to know, if you have to know how to protect yourself during time like this, because you have to put like COVID-19 calls, extension and whatnot, and I put in all that things without, with my previous experience of doing offering, which is, negotiating deals, step number 5. So today, but it's not about negotiating deals. Today is not even about raising capital, not even about underwriting. Today is about a few things. Let me go over that slides. So I want to talk about current market. I want to talk about a little bit of market cycle. I don't want to talk about the whole market cycle because it's too long. And I want to talk about what's best you can do right now as investors. And lastly, I want to share, it's actually possible to buy apartments. Normal guy like myself and normal guy like you can do, if you can believe it. And I hope that I can help you to break in the barrier. Because like I was talking to my wife yesterday, what is the biggest challenge for normal everyday real estate investors? And look back, and it's it's when we say we're going to buy apartments or commercial big thing in general, do we actually believe that there's a barrier in front of us in between? And I say that for myself because there's a barrier for me, really thinking that can I actually do that? And honestly, it wasn't easy. And I believe that going back to times, it wasn't easy for me. I think it's actually pretty fucking hard for other people. So that's what I want to talk about. Is actually what you think that you can do, and then you actually put in the steps and put in the action in place to do it consistently. So a little bit of myself. So I've been investing since 2006, and my previous life as an engineer, I switched that, and I've been investing in Canada, in China, in Hong Kong. And I first entered U.S. market in 2012, and the first investing in multifamily in 2015. And I've been sharing with online, offline since 2017, when I first had my quarterly seminars. I call it seminars at that time. I didn't have boot camp. I didn't have meetups. I didn't have Zoom calls. I never had all those. So I started in 2017. Actually, when my mentors at that time, she she like just tell us, just go share it. And that's how I started share market cycle. I told you, sharing about market cycle, and and I haven't really stopped because it's good to it's good to keep sharing. It was actually the teacher actually learned the most. So my multifamily missions, I dropped this up a few weeks ago, and it's first of all, for multifamily Russian is really simple. I think you can make cash flow, a lot of cash flow when you're investing in multifamilies, and you can be investing passive investor. You can invest in active investors, and meaning that if you want to do the work, you can be active like me, or you want to be passive investors, and you can find other people who has been doing it and partner with them. So I'm here to help, and I'm here to basically motivate people who think that if you're Canadians and you think it's really hard to invest in US. I can tell you I've done it. I see many people have done it. Is it rocket science? It's not. Is it that you can just open the door and just order a meal like that? No. But is it achievable? I think it's yes. So if it's my multifamily missions or vision is for people who have been doing single families. You're not new, or you have been thinking, or you've been actually investing in single families. It doesn't matter. Actually, one of my mentors is actually totally new. He had never invested in single families, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I'm pretty admiring what he does, because it wasn't me. I wish I was like him, 28 years old, and start. I was just gonna jumpstart. I was just gonna learn. I was just gonna do it. Because you know what, any kind of skills that you're gonna jump in and learn, it's gonna take a few years. And for me, it takes a few years. And for everyone, I think it takes a few years. So the earlier that he learned, is going to be earlier for him to reap the results. So cash flow is much better in single families, and I've been investing both sides. I've been investing in multiple countries. So I find it in US, investing in multifamily is the best in the selected market. And when you do the market research, is much better than what I've been experiencing in Canada. And you can build equity much better. And I showed it on my story on my previous Zoom call. And you can own more because you're buying 50, 100 units, and you're offering on more, and you don't have to buy like this really expensive single home and getting not enough rents to cover all the expense. All you single families guys know what I'm talking about. And really free yourself. Create a legacy is a big thing. For me, it's really creating more time for family. So maybe this is some of the reason. I don't know what's your reason, but you figure it out yourself. We all do something for a reason. And I create my own online training, not live right now. I'm beta testing it and fine tuning things that I can improve. So I can share later on. But really, today I want to talk about market cycle. So this is what I'm seeing as an investor, because I'm talking to my mortgage broker. I'm talking to mortgage broker, which get me the loan. I'm talking to broker who get me the deals. And this is what I collect, and it's finding really fascinating. And because fascinating is such a great opportunity right now for all of us to invest in the market. It's not a good time to sell, and in this is a horrible time to sell, because it's actually not. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to fix this. It's a horrible time to sell because it's just so much going on right now out there that if you're going to sell, you're going to be offered 60 cents, like from people like me, 60 cents on the dollar to whatever that was worth literally 8 weeks ago. So I was in the positions to deciding whether I'm going to sell it or not, and decided I'm not going to sell it. And so So we didn't say well, so we're going refinance route, and so I'm really glad that we're going refinance route because I don't want to go through the sellers what it's going through right now, or 6 months, or 2 years from now, because everything that we're looking at, is telling us that we are going to the buyer's market. All the brokers trying to, some brokers really, that's why you have to talk to multiple brokers. If you talk to one broker's trying to tell me, and don't get me wrong, we are in different business, and you have to know when you. So let's come back to the X steps. Coming here. So how do you manage a team? A broker is your team, by the way. Broker is your team, but meaning is a team is that they're not working for your company. They're not working for you. They're not working for your investor. You are managing your own self. You are asset manager when you're doing in this deal, when you're generating multifamily, when you're buying into multifamily deals. So, so how do you generate massive deal flow is when you talk to brokers, but you cannot generate massive deal flow if you only talk to a handful of brokers. You have to have multiple brokers giving you, first of all, information, and second of all, they telling you the truth. One broker tell me that, no, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm not seeing in yet because she's still trying to tell me it's a seller's market. I didn't say, I didn't tell him, Mr. Brokers, thank you very much and whatnot. I didn't tell him that, but the fact is, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious if you if you're going to buy in right now, the market is going to correct it. And I'm telling you, and some of you guys thinking is maybe in your mind, because I was absolutely thinking of that. So if I'm not buying today, why am I learning today? So maybe you are thinking of that. I tell you the truth is, if you're thinking of that I was thinking exactly what you're thinking. I don't have to do the prep work. I don't have to learn how to do, it's like this. It's like this. If you know your home or your area is bad, and you're gonna have a burglary, let's just say this. I don't know whether it makes sense. Let's just say that you don't want at this stage, you're gonna have a burglary. It's like someone is gonna break you in your home and things like that. But you're hoping you're gonna install your home alarm on the same day when the break-in is gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen, guys. It's just not gonna happen. I'm so glad that I started the process a few years ago, because you know what? I don't even know how to understand the market if I didn't start a few years ago. This takes me to market to understand that personally speaking. It takes me 2008 and takes me this cycle personally, because I'm 30 years old now. It takes me 2 times look at the same up and down cycles to actually realize that there is such a thing called market cycle. There's such a thing called market cycle that if you buy it right now or 6 months from now, you are close to guarantee that the market is going to go back up again. And hence, all this really, really smart people that I know of, they exit, they literally exit between 2016 to 2019. So I'm talking about thousand units. People I really respected, they exit long time ago. So the question is, so what happened? So if they exit, so you notice that 2016 to 2019, the market appreciated about 30%. So all these people, they know the correction is coming. So because they have been experienced 2 or 3 or 4 cycles like this before. But I'm telling you, if I am doing it right now, I know I am. I know I won't be exit at the last. I won't be exit at the last moment, and it's going to come back to understanding the market cycle. Because you just cannot know. You just don't know when the market is going to end. So the credit are tight. Government is desperately trying to inject more capital into the market. I look at a couple of slides. I was watching a Marcus Millichap report on the 20th on talking about the recessions, you know, that you can slowly, and again, you can only slowly understand the settlements of the market's changes if you monitor the market. I've been monitoring the market on the multifamily level. I've been educating myself on the multifamily level, look at different markets since the beginning. Actually, I always look at it, but I basically look at it on a daily basis. But since the beginning of March, when all this evolved, so I know that at the beginning they tell you this is actually so I'm going to see if I can use this slide, use this thing. At the beginning, telling you March. So everyone's March. They're telling you this. They tell you, yeah, it's okay. It's really strong. They always that the market is still really strong, right? That's what they tell me. And you know, I don't fault them because they're in the position to sell properties. And then April, yeah, we have a lot of capital coming in. We have a lot of capital coming in. You know, it's like, you know, I would say one arrow. I'm talking about positivity and, you know, the people who are selling the deals and, you know, the market is still really, really good and things like that, you know. And when May comes, we're at the end of May, people knows that we are in a recession and we don't know when we're going to recover. So anyone have a crystal ball? No, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't think anyone has a crystal ball, but you have to pay attention. You have to educate yourself. You have to learn how to do multifamily. Keep looking at the deals. Keep yourself informed in order to kind of have this kind of trend, right? The trend is this, right? The trend is this, March, April, May. The trend is this. So if anyone has a crystal ball, then you know how to predict it. But the thing is, we don't know, right? We don't know how this 2.7 trillion packages in the Fed and the Congress is going to help. We know from different cities, from the report that I've been reading, from city that is like, you know, really good, not really affected, 8% unemployment rate, all the way to 30% unemployment rate. And they're even talking about the method of calculating is wrong. So, you know what? I don't need all that. You know, what I suggest you actually go, you know, actually, you know, if you Facebook on me, so look on the street. So I'm just pointing out, look on the street. How many people is actually working on the street or walking on the street? Then you actually know. Then that's basically, you know what happened. And all those people, they're not going to be go back to work. I think 50% of people actually don't want to go to the office to work, and another for 50% of the people who don't want to go and cut their hair, like don't want to go to the barber shop, they think is dangerous. 60% of people think that going to the restaurant is dangerous, like they don't want to go. So and so on and so forth. So we talk about hundreds of millions of jobs is going to wipe away. Sooner or later, to be honest. Not everyone is working on IT. Not everyone's going to have an online training platform. Not everyone is going to work on online jobs. You all know that. And not everyone is going to be changing the career fast enough. So why I'm telling you all this? Because I'm seeing what is happening out there. So that when they say this is all going to be fine, well, I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm saying that you take the information, including today's information I present to you, and analyze it yourself. So what I'm seeing is credit is tight, market, internal sellers and buyers are not meeting. They're not meeting their terms. So sellers is offering 5% off, and buyers are offering 20% plus, okay? Plus. And massive changes in market shift has been happening right now. So don't want to put on the extra negativity, but I'm seeing, like, you know, I just put it on here. Los Angeles, they have reached 24%, basically 3 times an unemployment rate on the 1993, and then this is Napa rallies, Main Street apparently, and then fitness cups. You know, basically every industry is heated. You don't need me to tell you that. And how many jobs are there, right? So, and then another thing that silver lining is people started comparing 2008 and this cycle, comparing this cycle in 2008. What happened in 2008 and how long it recovered, how long it take to get to the bottom. So, so I look at on a couple of chat. So it was from 2006 and 2007, and then it eventually bottomed to 2008 and 2009. So it's about 18 months to 2 years before it's actually bottom, and then it slowly recover. So does it mean that we have same thing? I don't know. No one's know again, but maybe similar. So let's just say that a year from now, or it's going to be 2 years from now. That depending. But again, we're not talking apple to apple. But something that you have to pay attention is like Fed is way more active in terms of putting out a lot of capital out there, 2.7 trillion. And in fact, I think they're discussing a 3 trillion package that the House has put out, but it looks like the Senate put out, but the House is probably not going to pass it. So, but it's basically double the size of the whatever they we have, 2.7 trillion. That our basically Fed balance sheet has go up to 6 about 6 trillions right now. And you also had that Europe is doing something similar. Like they just have 1 trillion additional relief coming out. I was checking this morning. But all this, we all know that we are going to go into corrections, but no one's know how big. No one's know how big or what it's going to be, or like how it's going to be act like. But we do know, like this is actually when I don't know what happened, but I think this is very timely, and I do want to share with all you guys. We all do know right now we are. So, do you guys can you guys see that? See my screens? Yeah. So we are right now right at the buyer's market 1 and the buyer's market 2. So we are coming down. So we are coming down right now. And I shared that 2 years ago. I find it really, really useful. So right now we have, the days on market is probably increasing. Market vacancies will increase. We are not even going into that yet. Rent will be probably going down, right? If people are losing jobs and people are basically moving from 3-unit apartment to 2-unit apartment to 2-unit apartment to 1-unit apartment, people are going to be like the rent's going to come down, and people is going to be trying to save money. From like what I'm seeing is like the C properties will be affected much more than the A and B properties. But you also look at like A probably have to decrease the rent and B probably have to decrease the rent, and what it does, and then it will put a pressure on the price, and eventually it will shoot up on the cap. And they also have a cap under. As I didn't put it on this slides. They also I think last time the cap go average cap, which is kind of useless, but you can use it as a gauge, from 6 cap to 7 cap. So we increased a cap, during last downturn. So all that give us, history of what happened last time, and then what will happen this time, maybe. Right? But we all know that million people don't have jobs. We haven't seen this in 2008. We haven't seen it like decades ago. We even haven't seen it in 1933. So we're at buyer's markets. Buy market 1 is, we all know that we already passed, the top part, and we are coming down, right? We are coming down, and so some of the sign is, the market is coming down. And it's going to be harder to rent the properties, right? Again, coming to here, if you haven't seen it yet, doesn't mean it's not happening. The broker is not going to tell you that they can see this coming happen. They didn't just sell the property this session. They have been selling properties for decades, long time. So they know that, but it's their responsibility, right, to sell the properties. Otherwise, they don't make them commissions. But we all know that, right now is the best time to and best time to educate yourself, best time to raise capital, best time to talk to brokers, best time to underwriting. Because when you need to close, I don't know when it's going to be like here, you're going to take your time. And if you think about this, if you at this time, when the market's slowly tipping up, and you're going to try to do the market research, do the raise capital, and build a team, you only have so much time. And that's why I always tell you, my groups, you can do it now. And you know what, looking back, I did it when I was doing it, I was actually in here. So I was actually pretty in the middle of the cycle going up. I didn't know when is the best time to learn, but I do know I have to learn if I want to be in the multifamily space, if I want to build something meaningful for my family, for my community, for myself. I have to do it sooner or later. And the sooner or later means now, to me anyway. So, And a couple of strategies I put in here. Buy a substantial cash flow, buy a substantial discount. You don't have to buy it right now because the people who have to sell it right now, they are distressed. They have reason to sell. They're motivated seller. And you don't, in my opinion, you don't have to, and why you have to, the market is still going down, and why you have to catch, right? You don't know how long it's going to be, right? We talk about 12 months, 24 months, who knows? It's all based on the previous experience. But you have to be, if you buy it right now here, you have to be really know the market. Meaning that, well, first of all, you have to know what you're doing. If you're buying multifamily, you have to know what you're offering, you have to know the cash flow, you know how to underwriting, and that helps you to raise capital, in my opinion.
So Howard, just it's Shine here. So just so I understand, so 20% cash flow. So example, a unit rents for 600, you want to make sure the costs are limited to 500 on that unit.
Yeah, I think what I'm saying is still need the cash flow at 500s.
Okay.
And then I didn't put it on the slides here as well. But to be honest, like the seller is going to be eventually understanding that 5% discount on the price, it doesn't cut it, right? So what I would offer very substantial discount. That's just only me. Yeah.
And then, so Howard, when you say offer, are you talking about the letter of intent?
Yeah, letter of intent. You got it.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. That's the first step, right? That's the first step, right? And then if it's accepted and you guys sign it, and then you can move on to purchase and sales. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So so again, are you prepared, right? I didn't put in the whole market cycles here, and I do not have a crystal ball when the market cycle 2 will end. No one knows, right? And we have previous history to read that, but every time it's different. People are saying that this is medical, so we also don't have that many. So the previous one is financials, right? 2008, and we also don't have kind of like, you know, the previous. We don't have understanding of what medical pandemic creating a recession like this will have, you know, the effect on the market cycle shape will be, you know, when we're going to rebound it. So it depends on a lot of things, you know. Everyone's saying the same thing, you know, but this means, right, everyone's saying that, you know, you have to have a vaccine, you have to have the case factor, you have to, the flatten of the curve. Everyone is saying that you have to, depends whether you have wave number 2. The fact is, no one's know all that. Obviously, you want to be educate yourself to keep yourself up to date. But again, you can learn how to do when the market is already going up. You have to learn right now, I think. It takes a couple years, like, to master like things like investing in the apartments. It takes at least 6 months to actually digest the information, in my opinion, to get to the point that you can actually, now I can actually start offering things like that. So that's why I say, like, now is the best time to do, like, to learn and educate yourself. So going back, are you prepared? How do you get ready? How do you do market research? And how do you figure out how do you make an offer? And how do you so I put the last, like, 60 cents on the dollar, because that's my offer last week. How do you offer 60 cents on the dollars? So people who are new to me, this is my online education. This is my offering for people who actually have a free trial coming up that are devices to people who never learned about multifamily, just for a number of reasons. Because the thing is this, this is really, I understand this is really, it's not deep subject. It's really technical. It's really dry subject that a lot of people look at the multifamily. Are you kidding me? Like, you know, how can I do it? But you know, I guess you just do it. I don't know what to put it. You just do it because I don't want to invest in single family. I've done it single families, and I don't think it makes sense. And I learned from people who have done many units, 1,000 units. And so what events I have done this year and what I'm going to do, and this list keep expanding. You guys know that I'm going to soon call bi-weekly coach call, meetups, market visit once it's open. Looks like it's going to be June, but it's going to be some sort of like quarantine in place, 14 days. We'll see how that goes. And home study. So the last one is a virtual home study that I created. Zoom calls, boot camps. Boot camps, I just did one with some of you guys on Saturday. And my story is, I shared it quickly. I started doing this in 2012. I bought my first single family and make money in Arizona a good year. And then, I basically spelled, United States possible. So I did that without basically having any knowledge. And then I buy my first apartment buildings in 2018, put an offer 2017. So it's entirely possible. Recap for today's call. So as we talk about current market, we talk about market cycles where we're at, I think, based on what we have been seeing so far for the last 3 months, since the pandemic happened, March, April, and May. And we talk about what can you do right now, right? If you want to take advantage of this, right? The hockey puck. Everyone's know that the hockey puck is going to happen. But how do you take advantage of hockey puck? Are you going to be learning right here? Because I learned right here in the middle of hockey puck. And thanks God, I didn't learn at the top of the hill. Like, some people learn at the top of the hill and they buy right at the top, right? And that's also no good because you're going to be experiencing the biggest decline. But the thing is this, you will never know, to be honest. If I tell you the market cycle the first time, everyone talk about market cycle, but in my opinion, until you actually experience the market cycle, you will never know. And this is just for me. That's for my personal myself. So this is the market cycle. So I learned it right here in the middle, and I buy it just before the top. So I have a little bit of time that I can, before it come in, I can appreciate the properties. But I think we're right here, in between here and here. And the thing is, like, everyone's want to know that where are we right now? The thing is, no one's know, right? I wish I know, and I can tell you, we're 2 weeks away from the lowest point. But that's not the point. How are you going to learn? And we're 2 weeks away from the lowest point. Because you're going to take time to master the training. So, but I basically tell it to you, know the market today, keep monitoring the market, build the relationships, learn how to do it, and it's possible because I've done it. I think you can do. So I've done mentorships, I've done boot camps. That's just last week. So there we are. And so I don't have any more to share. Go get those books because I think they're fantastic. Not this one if you don't know Chinese. Get this one. And it's called Release Your Break. It helps me. I put a lot of notes. And I buy one for myself, for my wife as well. So here we're at. Go hunt for more deals, go offering. And that's it. If you guys have any question, ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Howard.
Thanks, Howard.
See ya.
Thank you.
See you next week, man.
I'm going, yes. So I just end the call. I'm almost ending the call on my Zoom, and I am tagging some people on my Facebook group. And you know what? If I tag you and if you don't think that that is for you, you know what? It's nothing is for everyone, and I respect that. And in fact, if you're not comfortable learning about multifamily, that's okay. And you just let me know. And because this information is for free and it's not for everyone, of course. But if you want to learn about multifamily, learn about how to do multifamilies, and it's every I have it every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Zoom. And I love to share whatever I know. I love to share what's happening in the market. And I think it's very timely, very valid. So I look forward to see you guys all on next Wednesday, 11 a.m. And good luck, everyone. Go hunt more deals and just wave to all of you guys who have waved with me before on today's training. But thanks for coming. Thanks for joining, guys. And look forward to see you all in upcoming training. Ciao. Bye, Gary. Bye, I think it's Aurora. Jen.